Book. We're getting ready to guys come on. I'm going to introduce today on Jimmy Rants. It's called Twitch. So if you guys have never heard of Twitch, Twitch is one of those sites that lets like gamers and stuff kind of talk to each other on video. And so I actually signed up for Twitch because they do let talk shows and things like that show up on it. So hello, Christine over on Facebook. Thanks for being here today. And so I'm going to use Twitch. Now, I have no idea who's going to show up on Twitch, but we're going to give it a go. So I started a little bit early with you guys, so I'll have somebody on here before I start the Twitch stream. So you guys ready for this? Like I've never done this before. They have a talk show and podcast category. So I put it into the talk show and podcast category. Jimmy Rants. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So I'm going to start it now. We're going to see what happens, see who shows up. Oh, it makes you shift your view to the sideways view. So we're going to do that now. Hello, hello, Twitch. Welcome, welcome. This is Jimmy Rants. That goes live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm already live over here on Facebook. I'm also live over on YouTube. The show originates here in just a moment. We will be getting started over on my Instagram page. So on Instagram, it's Jimmy Rants if you ever want to watch there. But I have a variety of ways to get on the show. And you guys are the brand new version of how you could watch the shows. So I am here Monday through Friday, like I said, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we talk about all kinds of things. Got a really fun one here today to talk about with all that's happened in 2020. So there they are, guys. I don't know if anybody's going to come on, but I am definitely streaming live on Twitch. So if you watch this or if there's a replay, I don't even know if they like have it on replay or not, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But thank you guys for being here today. I'm going to probably get started maybe a little bit early over on the stream for the Instagram. Let me make sure I grab that headline real quick and we'll get this show on the roads. Thank you guys for being here today. You guys are real quiet today, and that's got me a little bit worried because this show is going to require some interaction, and I'm going to need some interaction today. So don't sit on your hands and hold your tongue. I'm going to need you to talk to me. So I see a few people on YouTube. Go ahead and talk to me. And I see it looks like the chat is having a little bit of trouble over there. I'm not sure what's going on with the live chat, but if you're watching this right now on the YouTube stream, definitely give me a shout so I can see if the chat is working, because unfortunately it's giving me some weird, it's like the chat is offline. Nope, it's successfully reconnected. So, and all right, so we're going to get this show on the road. Thank you guys for being here. And here we go. We know all about the bad things of 2020, but I want to know, what are the positive things that have happened for you this year? JimmyRants.com is the website, and that's where all the fun begins, because we go live right here on @JimmyRants over on Instagram, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And we talk about all kinds of things, but we have a great time on the show. Thank you guys for being here today. We're also simulcasting live over on my Facebook channel and my YouTube channel. And for the very first time ever, we are live streaming from Twitch. Twitch is one of those softwares where like gamers like to talk to each other and things like that. But they actually have a category for talk shows and for podcasts. And so I thought, okay, let me sign up for Twitch and see if anybody comes in to watch the live Jimmy Rants there. So I have 4 formats that this show goes live on now, and I'm very grateful for all of you being here today. If you missed the live, you can watch it on the replay over at the Jimmy Rants Instagram page. It will be up on IGTV just as soon as this is over. It'll also be up over on YouTube. Just type in the keyword Jimmy Rants. You will find the show. And then finally, JimmyRants.com is the official website. No matter what happens in all the censorship on social media, we will always be at JimmyRants.com. So guys, welcome. Merry Christmas to you. It's going to be an interesting week since the holiday is on Friday, and we're not doing a Jimmy Rants on Friday. So my format this week is to do the topic we're going to do today about what positive things have happened in 2020. So that'll be today. Tomorrow, we will help you learn how to spot someone who is lying to you. So I've got a nice little story about that. On Wednesday, we'll talk about how consumers are associating plant-based labels as clean. And that plant-based has a sort of health halo, even though a lot of the products that are, quote, plant-based are incredibly processed and garbage. And then Thursday, we will do Ask Me Anything since Friday is the holiday. So that's how the week's going to go. But let's talk a little bit about 2020, because it's very easy to let your brain go there when it comes to 2020 and say, man, what a crappy year. Man, look at all this bad stuff. Oh my gosh, you've been under so much stress. Wow, what a horrible year. And you can let your brain go down that pathway of gloom and doom and negative. I want to flip the script. I want you to think hard. I want you to think about what are the good things that have happened for you? What are the positive things that you have seen in 2020. Now, I know this is going to take a lot of strength for a lot of people because most of us have had pretty much malaise the whole year. And so when you've been through suffering, and we all have in 2020, it's hard for you to focus in on what the good things are. But I'll give you an example from my own life, and I definitely want you to chime in across the board. Just chime in as you think of things positive from your life. Let's encourage each other today with these things. So for me, it's going to sound like a negative, but then it's going to shift into the positive. So mine is I am very thankful and have a positive thing that happened to me in 2020 because I lost a whole lot of people that I thought were friends. And a lot of people have even commented that way as well, that, oh my gosh, like, yes, a lot of my friends are AWOL. I haven't been able to talk to them. They're not talking to me. There's no response. And so I've lost a bunch of friends this year, and you're thinking, how is that a positive? So here's the way I look at it. If they leave in the greatest time of need, are they really a friend? Are they really somebody that I can count on, that when the going gets tough, that I can turn to them? And the obvious answer is no, they're not. Because if they were, they would not have bolted. So I feel like 2020, and one of the positives from 2020 for Jimmy Moore is I got rid of the dead weight. I got rid of a whole lot of people that, for whatever reason, decided I was not important in their life, and they did me a favor. Like I look at it that way. I see it in that way, that because they chose not to be in my life anymore, I no longer have to pretend, or they no longer have to pretend to be in that really, what I thought was a solid relationship. And some of these were longtime people that I had put a lot of energy and effort into. And it's unfortunate, like people that you think are going to be in your life for a long time, and then suddenly, whoosh, they're just gone. And that is a reality, you guys. And hopefully, maybe you are one of those people that you lost a bunch of friends this year, and you didn't really know how to wrap your head around it, because you're like, well, wait a minute, what did I do? And then you kind of saw it as a negative. I want you to flip the script. I want you to think of, okay, those people did you a great favor. And that favor is they weren't really your friend after all. So that's one positive from my life that I'm seeing from the year 2020. And yes, if you just joined us, we are talking about the positive things that happen in the midst of all this chaos that has been 2020. And it's extremely easy to let your brain go there that, man, 2020 was a very difficult year. I don't know if I could have handled much more negative, da da da. You could definitely go down that path in your head. I want you to think a little harder on this one and think about the positive things. So come on, let me hear it. Let me hear the positive things that have happened for you in this year. And for me, the first one that I mentioned was losing a bunch of friends and then realizing they weren't really friends after all. So all right. So Facebook, you need to get on the ball. Something's happened to the chat over on YouTube. So I'm not sure what's going on with my YouTube family over there. And I'm new on Twitch. I just started Twitch and I don't see anybody talking on Twitch right now. So Instagram, you're my only hope to have any conversation, it looks like today, unless everybody else wakes up. All right, let me scroll up. Thank you guys for being here today. Brittany says, my husband got a new job. We bought a new house and we moved out of the small town that I was abused in. Those are things just to start. Yeah, like those are big things. And especially in a year when people lost jobs because of the pandemic and because of the lockdowns, a lot of people have lost businesses. It is a blessing to have a job. And a new job at that with higher pay and all the things. And then buying a new house in the midst of this year as well. Wow. Like, yeah, those are good things that you can definitely celebrate, and getting away from constant reminders of negative experiences from your past. I love it that you have those things in your life. And yeah, I love that you also put just to start. Because if we really stop and think about it, there are many things that we could be thankful for and be in a positive attitude about. So thank you for sharing yours. Goodbye to the dead weight, talking about my friends who dropped me. Yes, for sure. Goodbye to the dead weight. Berkeley says, some people come in your life for a time. That's okay. I detached from things and focused on the important things. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Berkeley. Thank you for being here today. She said, I detached from things and focused on the important things. And that's something that's happened for me as well. Not that I've ever been a things kind of person, because I'm not. I'm more of experiences and relationships and events and things like that. But you're right. Like this year, of all the years in my life, things didn't really matter. Things were secondary, even tertiary to what really mattered. And for me, what really mattered was just clinging to those things that were real in my life. So for me, cultivating some really strong friendships in my life, like with my friend Brittany, who's on here, and a couple of other people. I've actually been very proactive in 2020 at having meaningful relationships and friendships that do more than just talk about the weather and the sports. Because I think that's where real meaning in life comes from. I think far too many people, they live in the weather, sports, politics aspects of interacting with people, and they never break free from the superficialness of that. They always like to stay in that superficial, because if you stay superficial, you don't have to go deep. And if you don't go deep, then you really never get anywhere. But when you go deeper with people and you start having real conversations that make yourself vulnerable, man, the depth of, I guess, advancement emotionally, psychologically, humanly just goes to another level. And I've seen that this year myself, where being very deliberate about being purposeful in doing that. And secondary to that is also being purposeful in being something good and positive in people's lives in general. So for me, I've always been an encourager, but I stepped it up this year. Like I purposely reached out to a whole bunch of people and gave them kind of encouragement, gave them, I guess, a friendly voice and friendly face to hear from. And that was cool. Like I went out of my way to reach out to people. And people that maybe I didn't really have a strong anything to in the past, but then started talking to them and started cultivating conversations. And from that, we made a human connection. And it's through that human connection that I think we had some really special moments and time that came from that. So I was very grateful to be doing that, not just building that strong foundation of good friendships, but also kind of expanding my horizon a bit in the people that I allow in my life and the people that I try to be a positive influence in their life. Berkeley says the people who left you are not friends, they're acquaintances. Yes. And even the acquaintances that I'm reaching out to could turn to friends. And that's the thing too. We're kind of seeing where people are coming from, who they are at their very core. And I'm trying to find my people. And I've got to tell you, I've met some people this year that I did not know before this year. And I'm talking about meeting them online. That as soon as I started watching them online and started interacting with them, I knew right away they were my people. I mean, you get that sense amongst certain people that, wow, these are the people that I know I will vibe with. So you guys know those people in your own life. And so have you been seeking out your people? Have you been looking for people with commonalities, people that you relate to? Yeah, I think we all want to find those people. Yeah, the people that only want to talk about weather, sports, and politics are acquaintances. Exactly. And quite frankly, anybody that says, hey, how's the weather? Oh, well, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Did Dallas win? And that's their lead off question. I'm like, okay, is this all we're going to do? Is talk sports and weather? And like, I hear it's going to snow on Friday. Maybe we get a white Christmas. I hear the Cowboys won yesterday. What do you think about this election? Is it ever going to end? Yeah, I'm not talking to that person. That person is not someone who's going to make themselves vulnerable. And I want that. Now, I don't think you need to do that with every relationship, but that's one thing I've learned this year is I want that deeper conversation. Even if it's a one-time conversation, I've had a lot of one-time deep conversations with people. And then again, have really, really good friends in my life, like Brittany and other people, a couple of other people that I talk to on a regular basis. So that's been a positive for me in 2020. All right, guys, keep it coming. If you just joined us, we are talking about positive things. Yes, there were positive things that happened in 2020. I'm doing this the week of Christmas because next week is when everybody's going to be talking about this kind of thing. But I want to go ahead and put it on your radar screen now because I want you to think. What are the good things that happen? What are the positive things that I can take away from the year 2020? Because I think we can dwell on the negative and it will just sit there and really doesn't do anything good. And you can't start the new year on a good foot and a good mindset unless you get to that point where you see the good that happened this year. Brittany says, when people walk away, I try not to take it too personal for long. People grow apart. It happens. I wish them well and keep pressing forward. I think it's human, though, when that happens to take blame. And it's human to think, oh my gosh, what did I do? What could I have done? wow, was there something I said? So I think naturally we want to lay blame on ourselves. We want to try to figure it out, fix it, blah, blah, blah. But I love your approach. Just, okay, I guess they decided to move on. It does hurt, though. I will tell you, some of those that left my life, when they left, there was kind of an emptiness on the inside for a bit. But then that's where reaching out to other people has kind of helped fill that void a bit for me. And I've cultivated some new acquaintances and new potential friends this year. So that's kind of cool that happened. All right. Berkeley says, few people can be vulnerable enough to really start investing in someone. Oh, you are so right there, Berkeley, because people, they're afraid to get hurt. And when you get into a relationship with someone that's a friendship where you start talking about life stuff, it gets real, real fast. And so you're right. A lot of people don't put themselves in that position. And it gets them in that position where they don't feel like they can say anything at all because they are fearful they're going to get hurt. I never have that issue with the people that I trust, and that's the key. Like I trust Brittany. Brittany is my very best friend, and she and I literally talk about everything, anything and everything. And it's comfortable because we know each other and we trust each other that we're not going to judge each other for what we say. Not everybody has that kind of friend. So I really hope that you guys do find that friend if you need that. I learned that I am not a fearful person this year and to turn off the mainstream media. Yes, Berkeley. Yeah, we learned this year, and a positive is all the suspicions we had about how the world went are pretty much the way we thought. So that's a positive. That is one way to look at it. It's a positive to know, okay, yeah, there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we suspected for a little while, but now we know and we have good evidence that it's legitimately there. So that is a good one, Berkeley. Brittany says, more positives for me. I cultivated great friendships. I got to start a new podcast. Started writing down my story for the first time. Mended broken relationships within my own family. I could keep going on. And I love it. I love it, Brittany, that you have this list of positives. And guys, if you're just joining us and you're like, whoa, positives, 2020, this is the year of the negative. Well, you could look at it that way. Or you could flip the script and say, okay, I'm only going to see what the good things were. Doesn't mean the bad things didn't happen. Don't think that we're playing Pollyanna here. But we're certainly saying, hey, look, there were some really good, positive things that happened in your life this year. And I want to hear about it. So cultivating great relationships, we've talked about that one. Definitely good. Starting a podcast. And so a lot of people, they've done that. They've branched off. A lot of people have been at home a lot more this year. And I've heard from many people, I don't have this experience, but many people that said they grew a stronger bond in their family this year because you had to be around each other from the quarantine and working from home and all the everything. Now it goes the other direction too. It's a little too much family time. But I've heard from a lot of people that said, yeah, this year made us slow down, made us get together, made us try to create family memories. So that's always a good thing too. But starting any new venture is always great. And yeah, if you guys haven't heard, Brittany and I do a podcast together. It airs on YouTube on Wednesdays right now called One Step Deeper. So go check it out over on YouTube. Starting to write your story. So yeah, when you write down the story and people have had time to journal and write down things this year. So that's good. And then mending broken relationships within your family. All very, very good things. Thank you for sharing that, Brittany. Cariana says, avid gardener here. I love talking about the weather. It's okay if you talk about the weather within the context of, hey, like if I get 3 inches of rain My tomatoes will grow more red. Like, I don't know anything about gardening, but yeah, I mean, if it's in the right context, carry on out. We weren't saying across the board just because you talk about the weather that you're a boring friend, but there are people who only talk about weather, sports, politics, and it's like, yeah, you said so. Anything happening in your life right now? And they just kind of go, and they just wilt that they don't want to talk about those kind of things. So what's another positive for me? I have learned this year that I'm a hell of a lot stronger mentally than I ever knew. Because I have been going through a pretty difficult experience in my life this year. Not at liberty to talk about, can't really say a whole lot about, but let's just say it's been incredibly stressful. And I have been isolated from it, from people, and I've been isolated from like normality, which we all have. But I'm used to going to like conferences and seeing people and being around people. I'm very much a people person, which is why I do Jimmy Rants Monday through Friday, because I can't see you, but I interact with you through these formats here. And I've had my moments, but dang it, if I didn't learn that, wow, I've got some pretty good mental flexibility and resiliency that I really didn't know was there until I tested it. And so that's been a huge positive for me, knowing that even though I'm going through a very difficult time, a very difficult circumstance in my life, I have been able to withstand some of that barrage of the emotion that hits and come out unscathed. So that's pretty cool. And I've enjoyed seeing that in myself, because now, like, coming on the other side of all this, I'm going to be like, wow, like, what else could come at me that could be any harder than what I went through in the year 2020? And that's kind of a positive mindset as well, is just knowing, okay, and a lot of you guys could probably relate to this. This year has proven that you can withstand more than you thought. Now, has it been easy? Not a chance. Like, I think we've all been through those moments where we're like, I can't take it much longer. And we're at our wits' end. But I think being pushed to your brink and not breaking is a very big positive. And that's something I've seen in myself this year, that with all the everything everybody's been going through, plus this thing on top from my personal life I'm going through, and I'm still standing, I'm still talking, I'm still here. I'm going to take that as a positive all day, every day. This year has made me exceptionally in tune with other people's needs and passions. I light up when others find their purpose and their passion. Yes, like, I've always been that way in general, just helping people. But this year, it's just, I don't know. I feel like getting rid of the dead weight of people that were faux friends, and now really seeking out those people that are my people, has given me a newfound kind of experience in that same realm, Brittany, that I want to help them and see them reach their dreams and all the hopes of their heart. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it's cool that you're looking to help people in that same way. So Brittany's responding to me being more emotionally strong than I thought. She says, fuck yeah, strong as hell. She said, I'm strong, but I do not welcome another year like this. Well, I don't think any of us want another year like this, but the reality is 2021 may not be better. I know a lot of people are like, well, I can't wait till 2020 ends and January 1st, 2021, everything's going to be wonderful again. It's a new day. No, it's going to be the same stuff we were dealing with this year hopefully not too much longer, but yeah, it's been quite a decade this year 2020. All right, let's see what other positive things. And yes, if you just joined us, hello Shirley over on YouTube. Hello, you guys. Thank you all for being here. We are talking about positives that have happened in the year 2020. And again, it's very easy to think about all the negatives that have happened. Extremely easy to let your brain go there. But I want you to really think hard. What are some good things? What are the positive things that happen in the midst of all the chaos and all the craziness that has been 2020? Talk to me. Tell me your story. I want to hear because good things did happen in 2020. And sometimes it just takes us thinking a little and then acknowledging the blessings that we have had. Berkeley said, if I don't make it on the rant every day, I'm caring for my brother. I hope I am at least one of your virtual people. You are one of my virtual people, Berkeley. I play Berkeley in Words with Friends, and even though I destroy her, sorry, every time we play, you keep playing. So no, I'm very much consider you a part of my virtual people. Thank you for that. All right. What other things can I talk about positive? Okay. So, I mean, you can go down to just the basic, like I still have my health. Because how hard would it have been in 2020 if your health started to go wackadoodle? Um, and it hasn't for me. Now I've gained weight, and that could be perceived as a negative. I know why I've gained weight. It's because of some of the stress of the things I've been going through. But I feel good. I'm sleeping well. I'm getting sunshine. I'm doing all the things. Hey, quite frankly, I'm grateful and see a positiveness that I haven't gotten this virus. Like I've been taking pretty high dose vitamin D, which by the way, if there's any one thing you want to do for yourself in the midst of this pandemic, go take you some high dose vitamin D, because that's got a lot of research now that's showing it's got great efficacy for the prevention of this thing. So I definitely see a positive in as much as I have not really been exposed to 9-1 DIVOC. And even if I do get exposed, it won't be a big deal because I'm in as good a health as I can be in this moment. And so I'm very thankful for that. Shirley over on YouTube says things have really been great for us. Oddly enough, my husband got 2 promotions this year. I got a part-time job that I can choose the hours of my homeschooling for my kids. That's cool. I got to go to the beach, 2 beach vacations, started planning another one. This year has been good. Well, Shirley, that's wonderful. And some people watching this may be like, well, wait a minute, like that's not fair. Shirley got to have all that good stuff in her life and I had a shitty year. Well, that's one way to look at it. Yes, Shirley, you had some wonderful things happen to you, but I'm sure there's been some bad things as well. And you're putting the focus on those good things. And so that's cool. Thank you for sharing those positives. No COVID for us either. Yeah. And that to be positive about. I think it's especially people that might feel like they're at risk. Um, yeah. Yeah. Brag about that. Going to get real. I have survived another year in a very difficult marriage. Hey, that is real. That's real life. That's where a lot of people are. And look, a lot of people have been quarantined with someone that they don't really want to be with. And so I love your perspective that survival is a positive. And it's not always easy to say it in that many terms, but I'm glad you're still here. And I'm glad you're still in a good place, at least enough to be functional out there in the world, Berkeley. Hang in there. But that's a good perspective that you survived another year in a hard marriage. That's not easy. I appreciate saying it here on Jimmy Rants. Anne says 2019 was awful for my health. 2020 improved my health a lot over on YouTube. About health and weight and eating habits and some of the mindset and mental games that have taken place. Let's don't do that. I